Well, I am in the parking garage, which is why it's dark. It is 2 o'clock. I have an appointment at 2:30 with the other surgeon to talk about this thyroid. I want it out. I want to know why they won't remove it. I'm hoping and I've been praying that this doctor will make the correct choice, and I will accept what this doctor says because I trust him way more than I did the other guy that looked at my thyroid, because he didn't even examine me. He just sat there for 15 minutes. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. So going to see this guy, doctor, don't want to say his name, but he's amazing. Happy with him. Brennan's worked with him before. I'm actually at the old hospital downtown where Brennan used to work, where he just quit his PRN job, because this is the busiest hospital in Louisville. This is called Norton Audubon, and it is filled to the brim with COVID patients right now. So I will for sure have my mask on, for sure be alcoholing every part of me when I get home. But I'm a little nervous because I'm worried about what this doctor's going to say, because I'm on a huge time crunch. So even if we do decide to remove the thyroid, you know, Brandon's leaving. I'm going to be alone with 4 autism kids. I don't know how I'd do surgery by myself, because the problem would be getting them to and from school, because they don't bus ride because of their special needs. I guess I'll let you know what happens after this appointment. I'm actually on time. I don't have Mason with me, and that's why. Bless his heart. I'll let you know what he says. So good news. I have hope of getting this stupid goiter taken out, because the nurse was just like, you know, I mean, I don't see why we're not taking it out. You're already on the medication. You can't regulate. Let's talk to doctor. I got totally lost. I got here and I thought my appointment was at 2:30, so I left a half hour early so I'd be on time. And then when I looked up to see what room it was, I realized it was at 2 o'clock. And it was 2:03, so I went sprinting through the hospital, jumped on the elevator, got off on the wrong floor, wandered around, got back on the elevator, couldn't find it, had to stop at a whole group of doctors because they were like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "No, I'm so lost and so late." And so they got me to the right place. So I want to show you this. See this? This is your digestive system. This is where your esophagus comes down. You eat your food and it comes down here and it hits your stomach. All of that stuff happens. You go through, and right here is your gallbladder. If I can show you. This green thing, where is it? Right there is what I had removed. If you look real close, you can see how that all fits together in there. And then the pancreas is right here. And this is a closer view, because this is what got destroyed with Mason. This is where your beta cells are formed. This is what I had removed, this sac. This is what doesn't work anymore on Mason. Your gallbladder comes in right here into the small intestines, and pancreas doesn't go into the pancreas. It all dumps into here. Your insulin comes in through this one, see it? And then your bile from your gallbladder comes in through here. It all kinds of dumps in right here into the small intestines, which is here. It's all this stuff. When my daughter had her lower intestines paralyzed because she could not, her body paralyzed her lower intestines after her appendix rupture, it was in the ileum, the bottom part of the intestines. You see that? Here's your appendix, this little thing that nobody really knows what it's for, but they're starting to find out that it has a lot of holding space for your white blood cells. So it actually might be tied to your autoimmune system. Isn't that crazy? And right here is where I had the rectal tear. It was literally down in my anus. It wasn't higher. So there you go. Pretty cool, huh? You know, one other really super cool thing about the digestive system is that they are finding that the digestive system is like a second brain. We hold a ton of bacteria and problems down in our gut when we are having issues with a lot of things. So your digestive system is connected to your brain by the vasovagal nerve. When your digestive system is not working properly, it cannot connect properly to your brain. The point of that is you really need to have a healthy gut bacteria to have the rest of your body be healthy and not in pain. Another really cool thing that I found recently is that your calf muscles are considered your second heart. I mean, why? Because your calf muscles, every time you walk or take a step or flex your calf muscles, you're pumping blood faster or more efficiently straight back to your heart and your brain. So what that means is if you're nervous or you need to think or you're having anxiety or things like that, if you walk and flex your muscles in your legs, like your calf muscles, it can help your brain function better and to help calm you down. So people that pace when they're nervous or anxious, they're actually helping themselves out. Learn something new every day. Well, that's a bummer. I'll tell you about it in the car. Well, no surgery. He makes a lot of sense in what he told me. He says that when I'm in the middle of a Hashimoto's flare-up, which is what I'm in the middle of, which means that literally right now my body is attacking my thyroid. All of my white blood cells are fighting my thyroid. And what that means is that there's a lot of war going on right here. And even though I have lumps in there, which are called nodules, he says that they're not growing at a rate where it should be affecting me pressure-wise, but I could still have major swelling within the tissue surrounding my thyroid, which is what's going on, which is why I feel like something is sitting here like this, literally like this. So his opinion is that, number one, he says a lot of times when you have these surgeries that you find out don't come out well, like you lose people in surgery to bleeding, most of the time they have exactly what I have, Hashimoto's thyroiditis. It is a real disease and it causes major bleeding during surgeries. I did not know that. So he says, yes, we could take your thyroid out, but we are risking losing your life. That's not gonna happen. So because I am in a Hashimoto's thyroiditis flare-up and have been for the past year, maybe two, he's not recommending any kind of surgery at this point. So luckily I'm not having surgery, not on my bum, on my thyroid. So he says that in his opinion as a surgeon that he would, if at all possible, not do surgery unless someone was dying if they were in the middle of a Hashimoto's thyroiditis flare. Because you bleed to death. Not that he couldn't do the surgery, but he would not want to risk my life to do it. Bummer! What's that mean for me? It means I'm stuck living and feeling like this until my body decides to stop attacking my thyroid. And God knows when that's gonna be. Only God knows. I'm frustrated, but I know now why, and I understand medically a lot more about the decision that the surgeon made. And that's what I need from the doctors. I need the doctors to explain to me why they're making the decisions they why they're making the decisions and telling me the things they are. Because when you don't tell me why you're making that decision, I'm going to question it. And I shouldn't, but I know too much, and that's a hazard for me. So yeah, no surgery, which is, I guess, good. The bad news is that I have to stay feeling like this. It's very frustrating. What are the symptoms? I have aching pain all through this area, all like down through here and all the way up through here, even sometimes into my backs of my ears. I have extreme exhaustion. I have issues with regulating my temperature control in my body, so I'm either too hot or too cold and never feeling right. And what else? Muscle strength. It can make you super weak in your muscles. And sex drive. I mean, there's so many things that your thyroid affects, and mine's been whacked out for 2 years.
I just want to fix it. So I'm going home now. Oh, I did just find out that a super close friend of mine, her son, who is 17, has diabetes. He's had type 1 diabetes since he was like 10, I think. And they were the first people to contact us when we found out Mason was diagnosed. And she was so hopeful. I just found out her son's in the ICU. He's in the ICU with diabetes-related issues. Exactly what Mason's going through. Super high blood sugars and ketones that put you in DKA, which is super, super dangerous. So if you think about it, if you could say a little prayer for Tyler, that would be very grateful. Thank you.
$3 for just wearing the pager. $3 an hour.
Daddy got a job. We are going to Douglas, Wyoming. Now, as long as nothing fails here, because this has happened twice before, but we don't have time to change it anymore, so it seems like Daddy's going to a place he really wants to go. He has really fallen in love with this town. He has done tons of research, and he is super happy. So what's your schedule going to be?
It's 410s first shift. Call every other weekend.
So that means first shift is 8 o'clock to 4:30.
Yeah, that's what Brandon said.
Yeah, he's never had that shift. It's going to be amazing.
And then it sounds like it's just like here.
That's not
Like,
that long, right?
Shorter. Yeah, he'll have more time with us. Basically, he'll be gone while you're in school. Think of it that way. Yep, about an hour and a half after you. So you have to do one weekend and one
So
on
basically
call.
every other weekend. I'm only on call. I'm not working every weekend. You're on call. It's like here. It's like,
Yeah, but on call, how close do you have to live? Is there rules?
well, look at the town. I could, like I was telling him, I'm like,
You should probably call that guy back and ask him to look for an apartment. Or at least send you some ideas.
yeah. Well, I already got an ask. I want to.